everyone, and welcome to the 4th edition of the Bus Drivers Route podcast with your host, me, Brian Cullen. So after this chaotic episode of Real World, I had to do not one, but two interviews to discuss it all. After speaking with Nia last time, I had the pleasure to speak with Johnny this time around. He gave me his take on the big fight, some insights about what really went down, and just a whole new perspective on just how just chaotic this fight really was. We also discussed some of the other big events from the season, his experience at zombie camp, his relationships with some of the other roommates, and even some logistical questions about visits from home and how the confessionals work. So you'll get all that in just a bit. Let me just remind you, you can follow me on Twitter at BusDriversRoute and go to my blog, busdriversroute.com. And I even note that I'll be getting some feedback on YouTube with some of these interviews, so just keep that coming. And if you want, just shoot them my way on Twitter. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. All right, enough of that. Let's go. Here's Johnny. So before we get to the fight from last night, let me just ask how everything is going on in Boston. Is everything getting back to normal?
Yeah, everything's getting back to normal, that's for sure. We're people know me and Averey are together. Am I supposed to talk about that?
I think you can say it, yeah.
All right, who gives a shit, right?
Yeah, all right. Not many people are going to hear this anyway, so don't worry.
Yeah, but Boston's good. Boston's good. Right now it's freaking downpouring, so Averey hates the rain. She definitely hates the rain. But, back to the swing of the real world. Portland ties are basically done. We shot the reunion now, so back to the actual real world, working all the time, not worrying about when MTV's going to call you again next. But, yeah.
Right. All right, so let's we'll get to this episode. So, where did things really start to go bad between you and I that led to this big fight from this past week? Was it when she got fired from Pizza Schmeats and everything?
That's when. We honestly started seeing her true character, a couple weeks into the house, and then like little things, little character flaws like that incident where she demeaned Brett and disrespected her at her workplace. No need for that. And like how me and Averey completely relate 100% to Brett because we're in the restaurant business. That's what we do. So that sucked. And then that was like the first stepping stone, really. And then it was just countless things of how many times, we just butted heads. And we didn't like the way she acted. We didn't like her character. We didn't like her as a human being because she's just nasty. She's just absolutely nasty.
Mm-hmm. So I am kind of with her on you guys cleaning up the crap in the confessional. It is Daisy is Averey's dog, and you're with Averey, so it made sense that she would want you guys to clean it. I do agree with you kind of on that, but then obviously she took it to a whole new level later on. So what was the time frame from? Was that the next day to clean up the crap to everything? Was that the next day that happens?
No, that was the day of that. When we came home. See, if it was like Daisy poops, we clean up Daisy's poop. And me and Averey are the only ones that ever walked her, Everyone fed the shit out of her, especially Nia. So, that's where we're coming from. Not you guys have seen things, Nia is feeding Daisy, this little tiny dog, all the time in the house. Mounds of cheese and sour cream. No, you don't do that. And then when she takes a shit, you have responsibility too. And the fact of the matter is, it wasn't just a Daisy shit. It was a Daisy shit that Nia stepped in and smeared, squished it into the carpet and then dragged it throughout the confessional. Yeah, she cleaned up a little bit on the hardwood floor, but she's just a lazy human. She's a lazy, inconsiderate human, and she doesn't care about anyone else besides herself. So that's where it's Jordan said it perfectly on the show. If I spilled your drink, Brian, I'm going to clean it up. I spilled your drink. You didn't spill your drink. I spilled it. So, just have a little respect, be a decent human being, and pull your weight once in a while.
Yeah, I think the point is that I don't think she had to clean up. I think it would have been a nice gesture to clean it up, and just based on everything she did, it would have been nice to kind of mend fences between you two and be like, I am helping, I'm doing this or whatever, but that just doesn't seem like the person she is. So
yeah, that never crossed her mind.
So when you went to put the boogers on her and then throw the drink in her face, you had to know she was going to react in some way. Did you ever expect that she would go absolutely nuts on you like that?
Yeah, I don't care. I figured she would do something like that. See, this is where people piss me off because everyone, especially Buna Murray, because they put me saying I wish Nia was dead in the TV show. but they don't put Nia's countless threats with weapons towards me, towards Averey, towards Jordan, telling us that she's going to stab us, beat us to a pulp with a bat in our bed, threatening the crew, getting her thugs from Portland to threaten cameramen while she went out and did her drugs. There's just too many things that they didn't show because Nia brought ratings, so they turned a blind eye to everything Nia did. So that's why it's like, really, Bunamari, like, you show me saying, I hope she's dead, I wish she was dead, but you don't show a single thing, a single bad thing she said. It's just pathetic. So, like, I don't put anything past her. That's why we, we're talking about leaving the house, is because it's not safe. It's not safe. Like, yeah, I can defend myself and defend Averey, and Averey can defend herself. Clearly, she whooped her ass, and when we're awake, but we sleep in the same room, and I wouldn't put it past Nia's disgusting human ability to take a weapon to us in our sleep. We've seen her go at Jordan with weapons. Why not us?
Yeah, I mean, and she went at you with a weapon, albeit a blow jar, but she did go at you with a weapon, so I mean, there's nothing stopping her. So when she was hitting you over and over again, even later on, did the production ever step in to try to separate you? Never?
Never. And every time we bring up the contract, they backed away. They dicked us around. They wouldn't call us back. They told us the head producers were out of town or weren't available. And then they screwed up because they gave us these little fireflies, and the producers' actual cell phone numbers were plugged into these things. So I called them and left them all disgusting voicemails, told them how disgusting they are as humans, and then brought up the contract again to them. And then within 5 minutes, one of the head producers calls the house and makes us have a house decision on who should leave and who should go. It shouldn't be a question at that point. It's supposed to be the real world, not the bad girl club.
Yeah, I mean, anytime anyone even pushes someone in previous seasons, they've always jumped in and immediately separated. So, I mean, they must just be really desperate, probably.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The show sucks. The show sucks. It's getting old. It's too many seasons. No one's watching it. So they needed something big. They needed something big to happen, so they resorted to violence. You know, shame on them. Disgusting humans. Bunamari is a terrible, terrible production company.
So when Nia attacked you with the blow jar, where were you coming from that she was, like, hiding around the corner? Where were you?
I was coming from, quote-unquote, the zone. The zone is where we get mic'd every morning and demic'd every night. So in that morning when I did the boogers in the Zune, the energy drink, I hadn't even got my mic on yet. We're supposed to go right to the zone as soon as we wake up and put a mic on, but I didn't even get my mic on that morning until after she pounded my head in. After that, I went to the zone and got my mic on, and she just waited for me out there.
Mm-hmm. So did Averey, Averey was right next to her right when she attacked you. So did she ever say out loud, like, Johnny, she has a blow jar, she's going to attack you, watch out, or she just attacked you right away?
Well, David didn't even need to tell me anything, because while we're sitting in the zone, she's talking shit to me and the producer, like, oh, well, you guys got that pussy-ass little white boy hiding in there, you protecting him, all that pussy-ass little white boy hiding from me, what a pussy-ass little white boy, just over and over again. It's like, I can't wait till you step outside this door, I'm going to beat your head in. It's like, oh, my God. Like, even the producer, even one of the crewmen that was with me right there, he's like, this girl's fucking pathetic. Like, good luck, man. I'm sorry you guys got to deal with this.
Jesus Christ. It's just baffling that they would just let this go on and on and on and on. It's not the show it used to be at all. So how long did this whole thing last, from when Nia first attacked you all the way to her attacking Averey in the front of the mirror? How long was this whole sequence?
The whole sequence was probably about 2 to 3 hours, I would say, because we had, so let me take you through real quick. We had, I started with the boogers. All right, the whole thing starts in the morning with Nia waking us up with, like, squeaky toys. To Nia's credit, she didn't turn the lights on. The producers turned the lights on to, get it going, like, egg us on. And so then Nia does a squeaky toy. Then Averey goes in and has words with Nia, comes back and tells me Nia sucks. So I go in the bathroom and I'm like, you suck. Or whatever I said, grow up. And then I do the boogers in the Zune, and then she beats my head in. And then from there, we go to the zone. I get my mic on. Then Nia and Averey fight. And then after that, we go into our bedroom, which is also Nia's bedroom. Now, we stayed in that bedroom in the corner, like behind our bed, for probably about 45 minutes, where Jordan stood in front of me and Averey. I stood in front of Averey. Jordan stood in front of me. And Nia just talked about how much of a mean thug she was, and she was a bad bitch, and she had people coming after us, and she threw, they showed, I think, one thing on the show of her throwing something at Averey, but she actually poured things in our laundry. She poured things over me. She dumped drinks on us. She poured tequila on us. It wasn't just one thing. It was like she went around the room and found every piece of liquid she could and dumped them on us and dumped them on our bed and our laundry and kept going. Wouldn't let us out of the room. The whole time, Averey wants to just beat the shit out of her. She's like, are you serious, Johnny? Just let me go. Like, you just saw what I did to her. Like, I can take this bitch. And I'm like, no, we're not stupid to that level. Like, this whole time, Brian, we're literally standing there taking this. Like, me and Averey are talking to each other, and she's just dumping drinks on us, and we're not doing anything, nothing. I was like, I've had enough going to her level. Like, let's just be the bigger people, please, and let's just stop. And finally, Averey was disgusted with me, pissed off at me for blocking her and holding her back, but I think it gives us a much better image, and I think it's much better human moral and decency. But so that lasted for a while, and then finally Nia was like, that's when she starts throwing out the threats, like, all right, well, I mean, we still got a couple weeks. Like, you guys live in my room, so it doesn't have to be right now. Like, I'll wait till you motherfuckers are sleeping. I'll take bats and knives and I'll beat the shit out of you while you're sleeping. Like, I can't wait for you guys to fall asleep. So once you decide to fight me, Averey, like, I'll be here. That's where I'll be. Let me know, you pussy-ass little white boy, pussy-ass little white girl. And she's just disgusting. And finally she walks out of the room, and she goes to the scared little girls, Anastasia and Jessica, and they're just like, oh, my God, we're scared. And then from there, Averey goes to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom. I'm finally brushing my teeth. Averey's fixing her makeup, brushing her teeth, and then in walks Nia, and Nia sucker punches her in the back of the head like the pathetic human she is. And then next episode you'll see the fight continue, and the fight continues in the bathroom between Averey and Nia, which again Averey kicks the fuck out of her. And then finally I get on the bat phone, and I'm like, we're leaving. I'm like, we're getting out of this house, we're leaving. And they tell me I have to wait the 10-minute warning. You got to give me a 10-minute warning. So I told them to take a dick up the ass, and I'm out of here. You can find me. So they fined me $50 for that, and we walked out of the house. And then on our walk, that's where we decided we're going to leave. Either way, we're going to leave. And then we come back, and we have to have that vote, which is the next episode. That was not my choice. I want everyone to know that was not my choice. I was getting the hell out of that house anyways. It sucked, absolutely sucked.
That's unbelievable. They actually fined you $50 for leaving because you were scared that Nia was going to try to kill you?
Yeah. I told them we were getting out of the house. I said, we're leaving. We're going on a walk. We got to clear our thoughts and figure out what we're doing. And the producer on the phone at the time, his name was Josh, he said, you're not allowed to leave for 10 minutes. You know the rules, 10-minute warning. So I said, take a dick up the ass. You guys are pathetic. And we left.
So Jordan was trying to separate. Anastasia and Jessica, they were just hiding in the corner the whole time?
Yeah, they were just hiding in the corner. Yep. They don't do anything, but they want to be a part of everything. Like, another thing that I wanted to clear up with everyone was that argument with me and Nia, when Nia's at the window, and it's the first argument over the dog shit. Nia had turned to Anastasia and said, Anastasia, back me up, like, this kid's an idiot, right? Like, tell him it's his dog, it's his shit. And Anna said, I don't want anything to do with this, leave me out of it, and turned away. And then a few minutes later comes at me and tells me that we're all retarded and you need to stop yelling, Johnny. And no, I'm not going to deal with that. Like, you just back down to Nia because you're petrified of her. You're not going to come at me and yell at me. No way.
Yeah, that seemed to be a lot of the sentiment. Well, not Averey, but from the other girls, and after that, they would always just follow whatever Nia told them, probably out of fear, to be my guess.
Exactly.
I have to say, it borderlines on almost unwatchable, the whole drama. It was a little sickening, but it's over, and you must just be so sick and tired of all this drama and stuff.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so let's move on to other stuff, because actually I really want to hear about Zombie Camp, because that actually looked pretty awesome. So we didn't really get to see that much of it, so what can you tell us about Zombie Camp?
Zombie Camp was badass. Plain and simple, it's Survivor Camp with a zombie twist. So, like, me, Jordan, and Averey are the only ones that decide to go, obviously, because the girls didn't want to get their weaves wet or whatever, or lay in dirt. So we are the only three that go, and it was I think an hour and a half from the house, and it was in the middle of nowhere, and it's by this group of people that go around the nation. They're called Trackers Earth. and I'm pretty sure they originated out of Oregon, and they're just a group of weirdos, like the coolest weirdos you ever meet. Like, I love weirdos. Weird people make the world go round. And so we get there, and we're a little late for the first scenarios or so. They called everything a scenario, and we learned like what we got to use for weapons all weekend. Like, one weapon we could always have was a sock mace, where you put a sock inside another sock and you could hit the zombies with it. Mm-hmm. And but basically we like learned how to build shelters out of forest material, start fires, where to hide in plain sight, like how to use like fern bushes, fern fields to hide and shit, and basically it really was just kind of survival camp with zombies. So they started throwing zombies in the mix, and they started giving you like fake bow and arrows and stuff, and you had to hunt the zombies and like come up with strategies to, have your team survive and stuff. And it was really fun. It was awesome. And then
it was like a whole weekend, right? It wasn't just like a one-day thing. It was a whole weekend.
Yeah, it was a whole weekend. It was I think it was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and we got there Saturday morning. So they started Friday night. We got there Saturday morning.
In real world, they made it seem like this was kind of just a place for you and Averey to make up after the fight. But was that fight squashed pretty quickly, or did it actually last the whole week?
See, I don't even remember like which fight it was, but the fight was squashed because I just don't like some of the editing. They edit some fights that happened like back then that happen now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of flip floppy. But there was a fight the night before. The night before we left for zombie camp, but it was squashed the night before. And going to zombie camp, we were fine. We were all fine going to zombie camp. We had no issues by then. It's not like it took zombie camps for us to make up. We were already having fun in the blast by then. Like, yeah, Averey, I think, brought up, I think the one thing Averey brought up at zombie camp was literally the one thing she brought up, and that was the only thing we talked about. And that wasn't even talked about. That was just kind of me like, we're at zombie camp. Can we not do this right now?
Yeah, so rather than making the zombie camp seem really cool, they had to just make it something that it really wasn't at all.
Yeah, they had to make it look like a piece of drama. And Jordan was pissed about that. Jordan was like, come on, man. Like, I did some pretty cool things at zombie camp, and they just make it look like Johnny and Averey make up.
Right. So, Jordan, you guys obviously I know now are very close, but other than you guys fighting early on, they didn't really show much of you two interacting, but you guys hung out all the time, right?
Yeah, me and Jordan became best friends very shortly after probably as of the Jordan and Nia fight, like that first big one. That's when I like really started realizing, all right, man, because I'll be honest, the first couple days of Nia being there, I was all for like, yeah, fuck Jordan up, like he's just been nothing but a douchebag, he's nothing but arrogant, like go ahead, do whatever you want to him. And then like the way she went about things, it really started getting me thinking, and like, Jordan's not the evil person here. Nia's the evil person here. She's the one with no morals. She's the one with no standards. And from then on, it was just like it was always Averey, Johnny, Jordan. We were three very best friends, and I love the kid. I really do. He was like, it was one of those like brother things. You got a brother, so it's like I can make fun of my brother, not you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he definitely seemed like a cool guy throughout the show. It's a shame that he's getting. At least, well, not recently, but it's a shame he's got throughout the season a pretty bad edit. Because, I mean, it seems like it's such a cool guy that I wish they would show more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done nothing but give him a bad edit. They haven't even, like, they made him look like asshole episodes 1 through 6 or whatever it is, and then they make him get in a fight. They make him look racist, which it wasn't even a racist thing, and then they completely kind of drop him out of the storyline, and they haven't even brought him in a couple episodes.
Yeah,
like they haven't showed
him recently. It's him just running. Like that's basically all we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. Like Jordan said, Jordan actually came to Boston, home from the reunion last weekend, and we talked about a lot of things on the way home. And one of the very intelligent things that me and Averey liked that we heard from Jordan was, this show is not even real. It's not real at all. Like we can't believe how much people on Twitter like care more about our lives in whatever 12-hour edit than they care about their own, because they don't show one relationship build. Like they don't show any type of us getting to know one another, like our relationship with Jordan or Averey's relationship with Anna, or like me, Jordan, and Marlon actually having bro time and having like downtime and having fun. It's literally all fights, all drama. It's just pathetic.
Yeah, they film you guys for 3 months, and then they pick and choose what stories they want to tell and how they want to tell them, which is not what real used to be. That's why I like when it was you guys were there for 6 months or whatever, so you can get real stories. When you're only there for 3 months, they're just going to pick and choose the big fights, not any type of relationships that are built.
Yep, exactly.
So now, what about Marlon? Because he seemed like kind of an indifferent person throughout the whole show. He never really got much involved in the drama. So what was your relationship with him? Did you guys hang out at all?
Yeah, I was very close with Marlon. Marlon's the man. I like Marlon a lot. Marlon was kind of like the preacher of the house. He was cool with everyone. He was cool with Nia. He was cool with us. I only had one issue with Marlon the whole time, and that was which I actually respect him for, because Marlon owned up to it, and Marlon told us. At Ron Tom's, one of the grilled cheese places or something, when we went out, Marlon had told us that he has to ride with Nia because, like, they're both black. He's like, it's just blood. He's like, I ride with her because that's not the only reason he rides with her is because she's black, but he's like, I have to. Like, I got to get her back. She's got my back. I got her back till the day we die. And for him to say that, like, all right, I got respect. All right, you explained it to me. Because before that, it's like, Marlon, how can you relate to this person? Like, how can you don't go hang out with murderers. You don't do that. This is the murderer of our house. She's a criminal. You don't hang out with criminals, dude. But for him to explain it to us and reason with us, I still have respect for Marlon for that. And I got no issues with Marlon. He's a good dude.
Mm-hmm. So after the show, the only people you don't speak to right now are probably Nia and Jeff. Are you cool with pretty much everyone else?
I basically, my relationship with Marlon now is like we'll chill when we're in town with each other, wherever we are, or occasional tweet here and there. But I don't really talk to Marlon on like a cell phone day-to-day basis or anything like that. But we do, we talk to Jordan every day. We set up trips with Jordan. We're going to visit Jordan in Oklahoma. Jordan just visited us. And then Averey talks to Anastasia, and I don't really talk to Anastasia. I don't talk to Jess, Anastasia, Nia, or Marlon, really. The only one I really talk to is Averey, obviously, and then Jordan.
Okay. All right. I actually got now a little off-the-track question, but I've always wondered about this. Getting a visit from home, how does that process work? Because we've seen Anna had her boyfriend come, Jordan had friends come, but that's pretty much all we've seen. So does everyone get a visit from friends from home? Like, how does that work?
You had, I think, basically the first month and the last, so the first and the third month are blackout days. You're not allowed to have visitors. Mm-hmm. So the second month, you could have visitors any day you wanted. Like, you can have people over the house anytime you wanted, home visitors, people from home anytime. But the rule, if I recall, was an out-of-town visitor, which means like someone from home came to visit a best friend from home, family member, something, could only stay one night at a time.
Okay.
And then a in-town visitor, which is, like Tyler, for example, he could stay 2 nights in a row at a time. And then after that, you had to skip for 5 days or something. It was like a weird stipulations, but they were pretty lenient on visitors. I mean, you could really do whatever you wanted in that second month. In the first and third month, they didn't want any interaction from visitors from home.
So that's why Mark had like a hotel room or whatever, because he wasn't allowed to stay for all those nights in the house? Yeah,
exactly. He could only stay one night.
And I assume MTV doesn't pay for them to come out, right? You guys
don't
pay?
Yep, they have to pay.
Okay. And the confessionals you guys do, not in the confessional room, like your talking head moments or whatever, when do you film that stuff? Is that during the show, or is that when it's all over and you're just like recapping it for everyone?
No, those confessionals are in the moment. Like, they encourage them to be in the moment. We get people like me I didn't really care to do them, but they were required by contract. You had to log 3 hours of confessionals each week or something, or you got fined. And so we get confessional time with basically, say me and Nia just argued over the dog shit. Now, as soon as you're done arguing, go spill your thoughts to the confessional. That's what it was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. So did they ever ask you questions about it? Like, how did you feel about this? What happened here? Or do you just talk?
We just talk. It's the only thing they'd ever do would call and be like, Johnny, you haven't done a confessional in a while. Could you do a confessional, please? Mm-hmm. And then, you just go on the confessional. Most of the time, I was, singing songs or talking about something weird.
So is there anything that they didn't really show that you wish was like a cool moment that you guys went to or hung out and did that would have added more spice to the show that you wish they would have shown that they didn't show yet?
I mean, just what I said earlier, I really wish they showed more of, like, relationship building and, like, our real stories, how we became friends and how we related to one another. And then definitely wish they showed more of Zombie Camp in a different light, because it wasn't just a drama Zombie Camp, it was a blast. And then they could have showed more of Wendell's. The trip to Wendell's was a weekend trip. That was a blast. That wasn't just, 10 minutes. I don't know, that's pretty much it for what I wish they would have shown. I mean, I don't really think I don't think they need anything else. I mean, especially not to their storyline. Their storyline is just straight drama and fights. Yeah. But for myself, probably just Wendell's, Zombie Camp, and more relationship building.
Okay. So are you ready for this show to be over so you can move on to go back to a normal life and get out of the spotlight, or do you still kind of like it?
I'm ready for this show to be over, absolutely. Obviously, I do like the attention. I mean, who doesn't? The attention is pretty cool. But I got to say, I am excited for it to be over and a new Real World to come on and take the spotlight away from us so we don't have to deal with all those people. But obviously, I look forward to being asked to do a challenge. I would love to do a challenge. I would obviously love to keep doing MTV things. My relationship with MTV is very strong. I like MTV producers and staff a lot. Where people differ, where people don't understand is the Real World Portland is shot and produced by Bunim Murray. And right. Bunim Murray has nothing to do with MTV besides they sell the right to MTV. So Bunim Murray is the people I don't like. Bunim Murray are the people that are douchebags, they're lowlifes, they suck. And they might as well just be holding hands with Nia, because that's basically what they did. And
that's the golden child.
Yeah, exactly. But MTV I like, so I look forward to building a relationship with MTV people and going forward with them and stay in the spotlight as much as possible. But right. I'm not like a attention-grubbing whore. If I never get called by MTV and my Twitter followers go back down to 100, I think I'll be all right,
Exactly. Yeah. Did you watch the challenges a lot before coming on the Real World and think about it? Were you a big challenge fan?
Nope, never watched Challenge, never watched Real World in my life. But I tell you, July 10th, I'll be tuning into the Challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you'd be great on it. So hopefully, in the near future, you'll be on it.
Absolutely, we hope.
Thanks for talking to me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, Brian.
Just go. What's your Twitter account so people can follow you and send you all the hateful messages you've been getting recently?
My Twitter account is @JohnnyRiley_.
Solid. All right. Thank you very much, man. Good talking to you.
Thank you, Brian. I'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yep. Bye. There you have it. The 4th edition of the Bus Drivers Route podcast is in the books. Hope you all enjoyed it and got what you needed out of it to really get a sense of what really went down in this big fight that probably is the biggest one that has ever happened in Real World history. So before I wrap this up, let me just remind you, you can follow me on Twitter @BusDriversRoute, and of course, go to my blog, busdriversroute.com. Now, next week is the finale and the reunion for Real World. I'm not sure if most of you guys know, but I was actually in attendance for the reunion, so I hope to do at least one or maybe even 2 interviews next week after the reunion airs to discuss with some of the people from Real World about just how much they're not going to show up from the reunion. Obviously, they're only going to air about 40, 45 minutes, and the reunion was filmed for about 6 hours. It was a very long day. A lot happened, so I'm sure there'll be a lot that they cut out. So hopefully I'll be able to get that for you guys later in the week. All right, that'll wrap things up for me. Hope you keep enjoying these interviews and keep giving me your feedback. I really appreciate it. Until next time, have a good one.